Hello, my name is Anna Milner and I am president of Color of Teaching. We are very excited that you are interested in our club. And so we just figured it'd be easier to kind of explain it through a video rather than just sending a bunch of typed up notes. So I'm just going to go over briefly of what we talked about, and we will have two things attached. We will have our meeting minutes and we will also have the point system. So essentially how we started off the meeting was I talked about the mission of our club, and the mission is essentially we have students from 7th to 12th grade from School District of Lancaster and Penn Manor that come in and we get to mentor them. So I guess first off, how to become a mentor. So there are trainings that happen a couple times, like 1 or 2 times each semester, that you can get to become a mentor, and it's just a 2-hour training that our advisor, Dr. Whitmer, does. And so we always try, if you can, try your best to get to that meeting and to become a mentor if you want to be. You don't actually have to be a mentor to be a part of the club either. And Dr. Whitmer will be sending out a doodle if you're interested in it, and then the one that has the most chosen times, the most that people can attend, she will do that one. So essentially you get trained and then you get paired up with one of these mentees. And what you're going to want to do with your mentee is essentially your goal is to try to get them into college. So our main goal is just to start showing these mentees all about college and how it's a thing and a possibility. So essentially you would be just texting your mentee once a week, just checking in on them, and then maybe going out and hanging out outside of just texting them, or coming to one of our Color of Teaching events, which all of the events that we have planned this semester are really fun. They're exciting. We're doing a lot more events so that we can get more people to come out to them. So I guess now moving on to our point system, because that coincides with some of the events. So we're asking that people try and get 8 points. Okay, so this is the piece of paper that you will be receiving in the email, and this is kind of a layout of what you will also be receiving, which was our minutes and all the stuff that we talked about. So how the point system works is you need 8 points per semester, and you get 1 point for attending a meeting, 1 point for meeting up with your mentee. So if you send a picture to one of our social media accounts or to one of the officers, then you get a point because that shows that you were out at a different event with your mentee. 1 point for volunteering. We do 2 of these book fairs, so 1 per semester, and the first one is typically around Halloween time because we have one of our events, which is the Millersville Parade, which we actually get to participate in. And if any of you guys saw Clifford last year, that was me. And it's really fun. The mentees come out and we just promote the book fair, and we actually have the book fair going that day as well, so that any of the families that are at this parade, because a lot of the kids come up and dress up in costumes so that we can give them out candy and stuff like that. And then they come over to Stayer, which is where our book fair is being held, and we just make more money off of that. Also, another thing that I should mention about the book fair is that all the proceeds we get, we buy books, and at the end of second semester, we actually get to go to E.R. Martin. That's the school that we're sponsoring this year, and we give every single child a free book. And I did it last year. I was on the head committee for the book fair, which I'll talk about in a minute. And so I basically ran the entire book fair, which I loved because being a freshman, it's cool to really get those leadership skills and start off. And so getting to hand out those books to the school last year was amazing. We went to Wharton Elementary School, and the looks on the kids' faces, some of them would come up to us and they would be like, "We really get to keep it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, this is your book, you get to bring it home, make sure you write your name in it." So it's really cool. It's a really cool event, especially if you get to actually go to the school to hand out the books. So back to the book fair. We will have the book fair for that entire week. So essentially we'll start it that Friday we will like put everything together and get it all set up for that Saturday, for the next Saturday, the next day, which is the parade, and then we'll run it for a couple hours, and then we'll have it on Monday to Thursday from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. And it's a really fun event, but back to the point system, you get a point for every hour that you're going to be there. You get 2 points for attending an event, so if you come to the Millersville Parade that I was just talking about, you get 2 points for that. We have our first event coming up this upcoming Thursday. I'm really excited about it. We got 100 t-shirts with the Color of Teaching logo on it donated to us, and so we will be tie-dyeing them, and then we also have a movie night. So you get 2 points for coming to one of those events. If you join a committee, so I was talking about the book fair committee that I ran last year. So we have 2 committees this fall. One of them is Teacher Ed Day Committee, and one of them is the Book Fair Committee. So the Book Fair Committee, I'll talk a little bit about that since I ran it last year. Essentially what you do is you're meeting with Dr. Whitmer and other people in the committee, and you're advertising it a lot. Like, I remember I had to go to every single building on campus and put up flyers, just try to put up as many flyers as you can. So it was just a lot of things like that, and then obviously being committee chair, you should attend more hours than someone typically would for the book. But this year we are teaming up with another club called ECHO, which is really exciting. ECHO is an early childhood education club, and they're going to be ensuring that this year we have people basically every hour, because last year some people weren't accountable, I guess. Another thing that we have is attending a conference. So last year as a freshman, again, I dove right into Color of Teaching without even really knowing what it was at first. But I got to go to Florida last year for free. Millersville paid for me to go, and I went during spring break, and I got to speak at an International Mentoring Association conference. And it was really cool because, first of all, you work on your public speaking because you're with a couple of your friends from Color of Teaching, and we also brought a mentee with us. And you are just explaining what your club is and the purpose and all the other things that are involved with it. And so that was a really good experience, and we are hosting another conference this year. We're not going out of state this semester, but I know we might be going out of state next semester for another conference. But this semester we are doing the Education and Poverty Conference, so we're going to have a table talking about Color of Teaching, which is really exciting, and that's 2 days. It's from November 14th to the 16th, so we are hoping to have members from our club there speaking, so more details on that will be talked about, but you would get essentially 3 points because you'd be presenting at that conference, which is really fun. And then we also have our big conference, which is Teacher Ed Day. Our secretary, Taylor, is leading that committee. And if you want to join that committee, essentially it's just a lot of prep work, which she'll get into more if you want to join. But Teacher Ed Days are a big day where we get students from School District of Lancaster to come out to Millersville, and I think Penn Manor this year as well. And they come out to to Millersville, and we kind of show them what college life is like. And we have a guest speaker, Dr. Ruba typically comes. We have the keynote speaker. We're in one of the conference rooms in Gordonier, which if you've never been to, it's the upper deck, but it's the fancier side of it. And we have a panel, and it's just a ton of fun. And if you want to join the committee for that, talk to Taylor. She's our secretary. She's the one that'll be sending out all of these emails. She's really good with all of that, and she knows a lot more information than I do. Another thing, so yeah, essentially that's your point system. So we were thinking, because we wanted to make it an easy first semester and an easy way to get your points. So essentially, if you come out to the rest of the meetings, then you get 2 points, because there's one meeting per month. It's the first Tuesday of every month. If you meet up with your mentee, then you get a point. So essentially, you're at 3 points. If you maybe volunteered the book fair twice, that's 2 points. That's 5 points. If you attend the conference, like Teacher Ed Day, that's 8 points. But then, like, you could attend an event, and that's 2 points. Like, we just want people to come to these events, and you get a certificate at the end of the year recognizing that you were a part of Color of Teaching and that you did all of this stuff for it. So that's just kind of what the point system was, and I kind of went over some of our events as well, but let me just go over them again just so that you guys remember them. And again, it will also be on this piece of paper which is handed to you. So our September events are September 12th, which is this Thursday, and it's tie-dye and movie night. And that is from 3:30 to 6:30 in the SMAC multi-purpose room. So, or not SMAC, in Stayer and PR. So essentially, if you walk into Stayer and turn right, it's literally that like huge room that you first see. That's where we'll be. And like I said, we'll be tie-dyeing these really cool shirts. I actually have one. Let me show them to you. So these are actually the shirts that we're going to get to tie-dye. The next event is we are going to have a ropes course, and if you've never done the Millersville ropes course, it's up at Pasillo. So it's basically, Pasillo's like where the gym is at like the top of the hill, and if you go all the way back behind some of the, behind like the soccer field, you'll see a sign and it says ropes course, and we will be doing that from 4 to 6:30, I believe. But it's a really fun event, like totally come out to it. We're doing low ropes, so it's not anything with heights. It's a lot of team bonding and just making friends, which is another thing that's great about this club. I have met some of my best friends, and again, I joined this club not knowing what it was. Little fun little fact about me. When I first started Color of Teaching, I had no clue what it was. I signed up for like 5 hours of volunteer one morning at a school because I just had the time, and I walked. Dr. Whitmer drove me because I didn't have a car, and it was over at a high school. And I walked in and I was like into her car and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't even know what Color of Teaching is about or anything like that. She was like, okay, well, this is the club. This is what it's all about. And she's like, and you're going to talk to all these high school students about it. And I was like, fun, great. So I had to essentially speak in front of all these high school students that were coming up to this table and talk about the club. So really, and I was alone too, like Dr. Whitmer and one of the other students who was there with me for the beginning had to leave. So I was there for around like 3 hours by myself, and so I had to talk about this club to all these people, even though I didn't even really know what the club was all about. But it like sparked my interest once, as I was teaching it to these kids, I was learning about it myself. And I got really involved and invested in it, and it's now one of my favorite clubs. Obviously, I'm president of it. I'm only a sophomore, and I've gone to almost every single event, and all the events and the mentees are really, really, really nice. So I can't recommend coming, even just coming to an event. Like, if you don't earn the 8 points per semester, like, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just all about coming out and having fun. The movie night in Tade, we will also have pizza and lots of snacks. Everyone's bringing a snack, so if you do want to come to that, like, bring a snack or a drink. We just want you guys to feel welcome, and I know that it's really scary if it's your first time ever going out to a club or trying something new, but like I said, I have met lifelong friends in this club. So I guess just to conclude, we meet once a month on Tuesday nights, so our next meeting is October 1st in Stayer 402 at 9 o'clock. We do understand that the meetings are late, but the meetings typically only last half an hour, so they're not too long. And if you have any questions, like, please email me or Taylor. Also, reach out on social medias. Our Instagram is at color_of_teaching. I will have it right there. And our Facebook is Color of Teaching, so you'll be able to find it. There is 2 of them, so make sure you find the most recent one. But thank you guys for listening, and make sure to just look over these. And again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. So thank you guys, and we hope you guys can come out to our next event. Hope to see you there. Bye.